Today we are going to see about networking fundamentals. So first one, what is meant by network? So network is a interconnection of various nodes in order to share information, data, hardware, messages and other type of all resources is called as a networking, or in short, so when we connect two or more than two computers or a mobiles or a PCs, then it is called as a network. So next one, advantages of networking: to share computer files. Next one, to share computer peripherals like printer, scanner, etc. To enable different computers to communicate with each other. To improve communication speed and accuracy. To reduce the cost of data transfer rate. That's why we need to have a networks, and networks are various types and they are connect various devices, peripherals, servers, clients, etc. So let us see types of network. First one is a LAN. LAN means local area network, which is created locally. LAN may be wired or wireless. In our computer lab we have a wired LAN. LAN means which will connect a particular area machines. So whole network of our school is called as a LAN because we have connected all these devices with wire connection as well as wireless connection. So it is called as a LAN, local area network. Next one is a PAN. PAN means personal area network. In image you can see that you have connected your PC with laptop, and laptop is connected with two mobiles. One is a mobile, second one is a PDA, and the also PC is connected to printer. So it is called as a personal area network, which is created for personal use. So it comes under PAN, means personal area network. Next one is a MAN. MAN means metropolitan area network. In image you can see that there is a connection of various types of LAN, means government building LAN, university campus LAN, office building campus LAN, residential area. All these areas are connected in a specific city. That's why it is called as a metropolitan area network. Next one is a WAN. WAN means wide area network, or in short we can call it as a internet. So it connects various devices, or it connects all networks together and it will form the WAN. Next type is about what are the advantages of computer networking. So first one, easy communication, resource sharing, file sharing, means we can share file, we can share resources, and we can use it for communication. Highly flexible, so it is a very flexible. Next one, cost effective. It is a cost effective means it not required more money. Then increase storage. If you connect more than two computers, then we can use data on different machines together, so it will increase the capacity of memory of a storage. Next one is to disadvantages of networking. So first one is the security issues. So due to security, various types of cyber attacks are done, so it is a drawback. Problem detection. So suppose any problem arises between network, then it is very difficult to find out because so many computers are connected with each other. Then management concern, because it is not managed by a single concern or single organization. That's why it become very difficult to uh, how to manage network. And next one is the hacking. So there is a danger of hacking, particularly with wide area network, because so many machines, so many networks, so many regions are connected, so it become very difficult for finding the hacking. Next point is a network architecture. So first one is a peer to peer. In a given figure you can see that there are network which is connected with each other, but while sending information, a specific machine get connected to another machine. So it is called as a P2P network or peer to peer network. In this network model we simply use equal status for all computers and a unique name for each computer in a network. It is best suited for small networks having less than 10 computer on a single LAN. So it is about a peer to peer. Next one, client server. With this architecture you are familiar, because you are getting information from Google, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So Instagram, Facebook has their own server, and that server is get connected with our devices. It may be mobile, it may be computer. So we become a client and that server become a service provider, or we can call it as a server. So that type of architecture is called as a client server architecture. Then the next one is a circuit switching. Circuit switching means how the data is switched from one devices to another devices. So here circuit switching is a switching technique that establish a dedicated path between sender and receiver. In the circuit switching technique, once the connection is established, it remains same until your connection is terminated. So circuit switching has in a network that operates in similar way as the telephone works. For example, suppose A wants to send information to the D. In a given figure you can see that. Then first A sends information to the I, then that information is sent to the double I, or we can call it as a second. Then it is sent to the third, and then it is directly connected to the D. And once this network is connected, means A to A to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to D, then this network remain same until the communication between A and D is going on. So it comes under circuit switching. So there are some advantages. It is highly reliable for the purpose. A connection is established between two parties. It will be available till end of conversation. Disadvantages of circuit switching are: initial channel setup is usually time consuming. If any one single point failed, it will disturb whole communication. It is designed to voice traffic. It is not suitable for data transmission. Means it is just for a communication purpose, not to share any type of data. Next one is a message switching. So here from sender to receiver, it will send data to each and every node. Node means there are 5 nodes A, B, C, D, E. So you can see the path how the data is get transferred. So there are two types of messages. One is go from A, B and E. Second one is go from C to A to D. Means there is a no proper path or proper way how the message is transferred. It is transferred with its capacity, or we can call it as a available network. So it comes under message switching. So message switching is a switching technique in which message is transferred as a complete unit and routed through the intermediate node at which it's stored and forwarded. The message switching techniques, there is a no establishment of dedicated path between the sender and receiver. Each and every node stores the entire message and then forward it to the next. Means it is like a relay. So sender sends information to the A stores that message, then it sends to B accept that message, store that message, and then it's transferred to the E. So like that message architecture work. Then the next one, which is the last one, it is a package switching. So current days the package switching is used for transferring any type of file. In case of packet switching, messages are broken into various packets. Each packet includes a header which contains source information, destination, and intermediate node address information. Packets travel across the network taking the shortest path as possible. All packets are reassembled at the receiver end in correct order. If any packet is missing or corrupt, then message will be sent to resend the message. In short, in case of packet, a main message get converted into various parts. That parts are called as the packets, and these packets are go from any shortest path without depending on any route or any path. And once all packets are received at the receiver end, they are reassembled and then it is shown to the receiver. If any packet is corrupted or it is not uh, present, then sender needs to send all means same message once again. Next one is about network components. So in that, first one is a NIC. NIC means network interface card, which connects your PC with the internet via cable or via wireless. So all of you know that when you connect our LAN cable to the PC, that port contains the NIC where we need to connect internet through our PC. Next device is about hub. Hub is used to connect various devices. So you can see that there are various ports and these ports are connected with various devices. Hub and switch are same. Hub and switch, see, this is a switch and this one is a hub, both are same. Then the question arises, then what is the difference between hub and switch? So hub sends same information to all nodes. Suppose I want to share information from one PC to 10th number PC, then if hub is present in this network, then hub sends that same message to all 10 devices, while if the switch is there, then switch directly transfer that data to the 10th number machine, while hub is broadcast data, and instead of hub we are going to use the switch because it transfer data directly to the required node or required PC. Then the next one is about modem. So modem is a short form of modulator or demodulator. This is device which is used to convert digital signals into analog signals, and vice versa, means analog to digital also. Mostly it is used telephone connections for transferring data, which takes data from computer, convert into analog signals, and through telephone networks it is transferred to the receiver, and then receiver means at receiver also there is a modem which get information in analog form, convert into digital, and then it is give to the that particular PC. So in your textbook you can see there is a properly shown that data transmission techniques using modem. Then the next one is a router. So many of you have router in your home. So it is one demo picture. So many types of routers are there. So it is a bigger router. So router is a hardware device that allows you to connect several computers and other devices to a single internet connection, either to wire or wireless. It is also called as a home network. Then the one more part is there which is called as the cables and connectors. So all of you know that there are various types of cables are used in internet. Basically there are three types. One is a twisted pair cable, or we can call it as a LAN cable. We have that type of cable in our computer lab. Second one is a coaxial cable, or we can call it as a TV cable. Cable is there, TV's cable, or broadband D2H cables are there that are comes under coaxial cable. And the third one is a optical fiber cable. So in this here, so yellow is showing by the optical fiber cable. Optical fiber means which is the fastest cable. And the next ones are the various types of connectors. So for LAN cable we are using RJ45 connector. So these are the connections and the cables. Next one, we have seen what is a network, what are the architecture of networks, what are the types of network, which devices are used in network. Now we will see about how the topologies are created, or we can call it as a designing of network. So first one is a bus topology. In this diagram you can see that it contains a single cable which is called as a backbone, and through that backbone all nodes or all computers are connected with each other. In this type of architecture, if any node get disturbed, then whole network get corrupted or it will not work. And problem detection is very difficult in case of bus topology, because we are not able to find out where the actual problem occurs or arises. Next type is a ring topology. In case of ring topology, uh, each and every node connected with each other uh, and forms the ring structure. Suppose there are 5 PCs, then PC1 connected to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and again fourth number PC get connected with a 5 number PC. In case of ring topology, data transmission requires more time as compared to another technologies or another topologies. Very efficient topology is the star topology, where router or switch or hub is connected at central place, and all PCs are connected with each with through that particular switch. So it requires more cable as compared to bus topology, but if any node get corrupted, it will not affect the whole network. Remaining PCs are remain working because we are using separate cable from switch to the specific PC. So it is easy to diagnose the any type of error. Then the next one is a tree topology, or we can call it as a hybrid. So here you can see that a middle there is a bus topology, or the backbone is there. Through that backbone switches are connected, and from that switches another PCs are connected, so it is called as a hybrid because it is a hybrid of bus topology and the star topology. Next one is a mesh topology. So mesh topology is a difficult one, or it required more amount of cables because each and every node is connected with each other. So it requires more and more cables. So suppose there are 10 PCs, then each PC requires 9 cables to connect with each other. So here we have seen what is a network, what type of things are there. Next one is about internet. So all of you familiar with the internet. So internet, it is a global network over a million of smaller heterogeneous computer network. Heterogeneous means which are any type of network which are not homogeneous. Then it contains millions private, public, academic, business, government networks connected, and it become a network. Next one is a World Wide Web, WWW. So it is a World Wide Web. It is a collection of web pages. See, so many times students get confusion between internet and WWW. So internet is a physical connection, while WWW is the logical connection between web pages or the website, and network or internet is a connection between various computers or various nodes. Next one about getting access to internet, means how to access internet. So there are we need communication software for conventional dial-up connection, TCP/IP dialer software or protocol, web browser for browsing information, email software for sending receiving email. So first one is the internet service, or we can call it as ISPs. So internet service is a type of internet connection which is provided by ISPs, where some common types of internet service are dial-up connection. So dial-up access uses telephone modem. Dial-up is the oldest form of internet connection. So today it is not used mostly. So DSL, digital subscriber line. So it is used DSL model. For DSL service, you need to DSL modem connected to an Ethernet network, NIC in your computer. You need to plug the telephone line into connector at the back of the modem. Generally, modems include a cable with RJ11 or RJ45 connector. So our LAN cable connected with RJ45, and if you seen landline telephones, so its receiver connected with that particular port, and it is called as a RJ11 connector. So it is also used the telephone network for connection, but it directly connects to the PC through the telephone networks. Next one is a cable. For cable service, you will need a cable model connected to Ethernet interface or NIC. in your computer. Cable service connects to the internet via cable TV, although you do not necessarily to need have a cable TV in order to get it. Then the 3G and 4G. So these services are most commonly used with mobile phones, tablets, computers, and it connects wirelessly through ISPs. Next one is a Wi-Fi or internet, a wireless internet. So all of you know what is the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is another type of wireless network that we use every day for mostly mobile internet. So wireless internet is also called as a Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. So it is a technology which is a way of getting broadband internet without wires or cables. So in case of Wi-Fi, there are desktop wireless Wi-Fi card is there, which can directly connect with your Wi-Fi network. Next one, Wi-Fi cards in laptops or notebook computers, wireless Wi-Fi routers. So such type of routers are also there, which can connect the various computers. Then Wi-Fi sub adapters. So suppose when we are showing any event from school on internet, so we are using Wi-Fi sub adapters. So in that one camera is there, so that camera we connect with this sub adapter. Then that sub adapter is connected to our school's network. Then we connect that means we open one computer and set the IP addresses for that camera with our network. Once it is established, then and then only you can see our school events online. So here we are using Wi-Fi sub adapters. Then Wi-Fi hotspot. So all of you know that you are using one mobile hotspot to the another mobile, and the WiMAX is there, which is important. So worldwide interoperability for microwave access is a wireless communication standard for broadband wireless access. It offers a far greater signal range than 100 feet provided by most conventional Wi-Fi modems. The data transfer rate is about 30 to 40 Mbps. WiMAX also has a range up to 30 miles. The technology is used in the form of a telephone cable, wireless devices, or other broadcast technology. Almost all internet service providers use this technology to connect home, offices, and other public places for wireless communication. 3G utilizes WiMAX and Wi-Fi as separate wireless technology. So here we have finished our this session. Thank you.